Let's build the Sepia look from the Eazy Sober music video. Alright, so this is the look that I was talking about. This whole bar scene, it's like a 1920s sepia look, and that's what we're going to be recreating here. It's pretty simple. So here's 3 shots that I have. The first thing I'm going to do is, in our first node, we're just going to balance it out, and all I'm doing is just really pulling down the top end here, just pulling it down so it's not clipping. And then I am going to come over to our RGB mixer, and we're going to click on monochrome. And if you want it to, in the monochrome, adjust how your black and white looks by shifting your red, blue, and green channels, but I'm just going to leave it at the default. The next node that we have, we're going to start to introduce that brown into this black and white image. So I'm just going to use my offset, because the offset will control the whole channel. So if I move this red, it's going to control the whole channel, compared to if I just use my lift, gamma, or gain, it's just going to manipulate, different parts of that channel. So I just want to manipulate the whole channel and not just little parts like the top, the mids, or the shadows. Okay, so now let's see here. Something like that, maybe. Starting to get there. Something like that. And just a little bit out of here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. The next thing that I might want to do is throw a little saturation in here. With throwing saturation, I still want to have I still want my blacks to be a bit black. I don't want them to all be brown. So I'm going to come back into this channel, or into my second node, and then come over to Lume versus Saturation. How this works is it'll take, depending on the luminance level that you pick, it'll pull saturation out of that or add saturation into it. So if I wanted to, for my highlights, I could add saturation in, but what I want to do is I just want to grab different parts of the darker areas, because I want to pull some saturation out of there. I just want to see where they fall. Okay. So something like that. I think this is a bit harsh. The transition in here and the transition up here, it's still a bit harsh. So I'm gonna soften this out a little bit, maybe extend this so it's not so intense. And that fall off's a bit better now. I'm liking where that is currently at. It could be a little bit more, but I'm kind of liking where it's at. So we'll go with that. Okay, so that's kind of the look that we have. So we're going to copy it over to another shot by just middle mouse. Well, we have this one highlighted. We're going to middle mouse button over here, and we're going to copy it over. And then looking at the shot, we could adjust the luminance levels a little bit. So let's do that we'll just do it in this node here. We'll brighten it up just a bit, something like that. Maybe even bring our lower level in a little bit. Okay. Could even squash this a little bit. Just playing with them. A little washed out. And then this one isn't looking all so bad. You might want to drop down in this first node, drop down so we're not clipping as much. something like that. All right, so now we have our 3 shots. Take a loop off and look at them again. There we go. This one could use a little bit of work. Maybe add in a little bit of saturation on this one, or a little bit more. I think they're looking a bit better now. Okay, so now we have the colors, all right, but we need a little bit of grunge to give it the feeling of being old. So I have some noise that I'm just going to overlay on here, and all this is it's just grain noise. You can find this online. It's not that difficult to find. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to overlay. And now if we watch the shot, we have a bunch of grain in the shot. But 2 things. One, if you look up here, you can see that there's a bit of, it's not up there and down here. And 2, I want to not have it so strong. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this edge, and we're just going to do a zoom, and that will equally zoom on both sides. But now, you know what, I think I'm going to make it a bit bigger and make the grain look a bit larger. So let's actually put this up to 2 and see how we look for a shot. Ooh, for a shot. Okay, I think that that is good, but we just need to lower the opacity of that node. So let's just do like 50%. Wait, why? Oh, 5%. No, 50. I was like, why don't I see anything? I think that looks a lot better. Okay, so let's do it to this one too. So 50%, and then overlay, and 2 for the size. It's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with that. If you wanted to add a bit more of the color in here, you would just click on this node here, and you would just increase the saturation up a bit. But I'm pretty happy where it's currently at. Actually, you know what? One other thing that we could add a little bit of is we could make it a little warmer, to make it a little more yellow. And all I'm doing for that is over here in the temperature control, I'm just lifting the temperature up just a little bit. So take a look here, just lifting it up, and all that's doing is just adding a little bit of a yellow in there, which is resulting in a bit more of a I was like, why don't I see any change? I'm on the wrong node. And that's just adding a bit of more of that brown into there. I think that's pretty good look at an old look that surprisingly is coming back. That's gonna do it for us. If you have any recommendations on a color grade I should attempt to recreate, let me know down in the comments. Again, my name's JR, and thanks for watching.